You know, the number one reason realtors lose listings to other agents is their lack of ability to communicate effectively with their leads. And if you want to take more listings and become a top listing agent, then you gotta fix how you communicate with your sellers. Because if you don't fix how you communicate with them, you're going to lose listings for the rest of your real estate career. I'm saying it because this is what I've seen happen to good, hardworking agents all over the country for way too many years. And look, I don't care how many leads you buy. I don't care how good your marketing looks like. If you can't hold a meaningful and powerful conversation with your leads, you will lose them to someone else who can, and you'll never be able to control your income. And I know that you know what I mean, because most people watching this video have no idea where their next deal is coming from. Most agents are operating this business backwards, waking up each day and the first thing they do is pick up their phone and check to see if somehow they got a lead while they were sleeping. Come on now, how do you expect to level up a business like that? And if that is you, you're gonna watch this video more than one time, so pay attention. Now let me be very clear with you before we go any further. This video is not going to make you feel better. The intention of me recording this video is to make you better. And not only do I want you to get better, I want you to become the best in your marketplace. Now, here's the saddest thing I have come to realize throughout my career. And that's that most agents watching this video already know exactly what they should be doing every day. You know you should be picking up the phone and prospecting. You know you should be following up on your leads. You know you should be setting appointments. You know you should be doing the uncomfortable stuff consistently every single day. But do you actually do it when you're supposed to do it? I'm willing to bet that you don't. And that is not even the problem. You see, the problem is you don't know how people make decisions. Did you hear what I just said? You do not know how people make decisions. So how do you expect them to make a decision to work with you? You don't know how to make sellers feel safe when you speak to them. You don't know how authority and expertise are communicated without force. So you're never seen as the expert that they're looking for. So you end up doing what the industry has told you to do for so many years. Go depend on more scripts, more objection handlers, more tactics. And I'm here to tell you all of that is the reason why you have no control over your lead flow and your income. And here's the truth nobody likes to hear. Sellers never ever hire the best marketer. They don't hire the nicest person they meet. They hire the person who makes them feel settled, clear, and certain. And that has nothing to do with scripts and dialogues. That, my friends, has everything to do with NLP. So what is NLP? NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. All it really means is that understanding how someone thinks, how they process information, how they make decisions, and then communicating in a way that matches their internal world. And that's pretty much it. It's not manipulation. There's no persuasion tricks, no Jedi mind games, just true leadership. But most agents screw this up big time, and I see it all the time. Why and how? Because they were trained to talk. They were not trained to read. So they talk price, they talk marketing, they talk comps, they talk features, but they never stop to understand their prospect. How does this person sitting in front of me process information? Are they emotional or are they analytical? Do they decide fast or do they slowly make decisions? Do they need certainty or do they need reassurance? Do they trust logic or do they trust feelings? So you're speaking your language, not theirs. Resistance shows up, not because you're wrong, but because you're out of sync. So let me teach you something practical right now that you can start using right away in your next conversation. So let me give you what I like to call the sync checklist. Before you ever pitch a client, before you ever do a CMA, before you ever talk commission, you need to get in sync. And here's what you're watching for in the first 60 seconds. Speed. How fast do they talk? If they're slow and you're fast, you feel like a salesperson. If they're fast and you're slow, you begin to feel unsure and uncomfortable. Watch out for their tone. Are they serious? Are they playful? Are they guarded? Are they anxious? Etc. And match the tone and then lead it. So enter their world, then bring them into your world is what I'm saying. And then their energy. Are they high energy like me or are they low energy? Look, the key is to never ever try to overpower them. Don't overwhelm them. And then decision style. Do they want facts or are they looking for reassurance? Why do you want to do that? Because facts people want clarity. Reassurance people want safety, the feeling of being safe to make the decision. Now here's the point. Most agents walk in trying to be impressive. Top agents walk in trying to be in sync. So if you get in sync, you don't need scripts and dialogues because scripts are what you begin to cling to when you don't know what to do in that moment. So let me tell you a very quick story. A few years ago, the mother of my children got into real estate and I wanted to show her how to skyrocket the business. So what I did is I went to her office, I got on the phones and I started calling for sell by owners, and I called 3 to be exact. All 3 picked up and I set 1 listing appointment for the same exact day. So there was like very little time to prepare for the listing presentation, etc. So that evening I went on that appointment with her to show her how to do a proper, powerful listing presentation. And as I'm walking in, another realtor was walking out. So I already know what just happened. They interviewed an agent right before me. I walked in calm and confident with the assumption that I'm going to get this listing tonight. So we toured the home. I focused on building rapport, and then we sat down on the dining room table. And I began to focus on finding out the following. How does this person think? How did they make decisions? Why did I do that? Because if I know how they think, I can alter how I speak, and I can alter my words in a way that gets them to feel what I need them to feel to choose me versus the agent who just walked out. And by the way, I know what most agents do when they go on listing presentations when they meet with a seller. So I know what this other agent did right before me walking in. Most likely, what did he do? He showed him the CMA, he showed him the marketing plan, he talked about his systems, how he's gonna expose the property, and he pitched the heck out of them. And you know what I did? None of that. From the moment I sat down, my only goal was this: get them to feel good in my presence. I wasn't there to impress them. I wasn't there to sell them. I wasn't even there to convince them. So what did I do? I matched their rate of speech. They were calm, I slowed down. They were measured, I did not rush. I mirrored their tone. No hype, no energy spikes, no pitchy, salesy voice whatsoever. I mirrored their body language, leaning when they leaned, pausing when they paused, and then I asked questions, not sales questions, decision questions like, when you've made big decisions in the past, what helped you feel confident? Or the question of what has to feel right for you to move forward with someone? Or what did you like about the agent you met with earlier? Or what didn't you like about the agent that you just got done meeting with earlier? And then I would just shut up. We barely touched the CMA that evening. We barely talked marketing. I did absolutely nothing to sell them on me, and I never asked them to hire me. So about 15 minutes into the conversation, the seller closed his eyes, took a deep breath, opened up his eyes and said, "Chadi, I like you. I feel good about you. I want to sell my home with you." Now, mind you, he was asking $808,000 for that property, and I listed it at $699 at 6% commission, sold it in under 30 days. And before we even closed on his home, he sent me another $699,000 referral listing. That's the power of NLP. Not words, not scripts, just fucking presence. Did I follow a script? Hell no, I did not follow a script. And I want you to hear this. Scripts do not work if you do not understand the NLP behind the script. Here's why scripts don't work the agents think they do. Scripts assume everybody thinks the same. They don't. Do you think like me? Most likely not, because if you did, you'd be making this video, not watching it. What else scripts do? Scripts assume everybody decides the same. No way on earth Think about the closest people to you, your family members. They don't even decide on obvious things the way you think they should. What else do scripts do? Scripts assume that everyone responds to logic the same. Look, some people are cold as hell and they want facts. Some people are 100% emotional and they just want reassurance. We are not all the same. And I know you're thinking to yourself, Chadi, what does all of this have to do with real estate, taking listings, going to the next level? Look, if you do what I told you to do thus far up to this point, and I got more to share with you, if you do half of what I shared with you so far, you're going to have more confidence. You're going to take more action. You're going to set more appointments. You're going to take more listings and be in control of your business. Back to talking about scripts. So a script delivered to the wrong person creates resistance. And when resistance shows up, guess what you begin to do? You begin to panic. And that's when you start hearing sellers or buyers saying things like, I need to think about it. Or we still got a couple of agents that we would like to interview. Or we're not ready yet. And you begin to think yourself, these are objections. My friends, those are not objections. Those are signals that leadership disappeared earlier in the conversation and now you gotta make up for it. So get this, top listing agents don't handle objections. What we do is we prevent them. Here's what you do instead. So now let me teach you what I call the prevent method. So before you ask for anything from any seller, do these three things. Number one, clarify. Say something like, help me understand what matters most to you in this decision. And then confirm and ask something like, so if you felt confident about X, you'd be ready to move forward tonight, right? Get confirmation. And then compress. Say something like, okay, let's simplify this. What's the real concern? See, these are all questions. That is it, my friends. You don't fight them at the end. You lead them earlier in the conversation. Now, let me tell you another story about a client of mine, and her name is Donna. Donna was in real estate for about 18 months before she met me. Had closed 0 deals. She was not a lazy person. As a matter of fact, she was a kind, harmless, sweet person that absolutely everyone fell in love with. Beautiful woman. But no one would list with her. Why? Because being liked is not the same as being trusted. So when Donna learned NLP, and I'm talking about real NLP, everything changed. She learned how to slow down the conversation, how to ask better questions, how to lead without pressure, hold space without being apologetic, speak with certainty without being aggressive. Then the results came in. 9 months, she took 22 listings and made over $300,000. We're talking about the same person, same heart, same values, just a different set of communication language patterns. That's the difference between being nice and being chosen. And here's the part most agents don't even want to hear. You do not need to learn any new lines. You need to become someone who can hold authority calmly when speaking to people. NLP doesn't make you fake. It removes your need to prove anything to anyone. And when you stop trying to convince people, they stop resisting you. And when you stop chasing, they start leaning in. Leadership is felt before it's explained. It's not a script game, my friends. It's an emotional game. And here's what authority without force looks like. You don't rush your words. You don't over-explain anything to anyone. And you don't have to defend your commission and or the terms. And you definitely don't have to try to be liked because you're not there performing. You're there to present. And when you're present, they feel safe. And when they feel safe, they make a decision quickly and safely. And here's what I want you to do after you're done watching this video. And I mean today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. I'm talking about today. I don't want you memorizing anything. I want you paying attention here and forward. Pay attention on your next conversation, and I want you to notice the people I'm speaking to. How fast do they speak? How do they make decisions? What do they respond to? And where tension might be showing up? And then once you discover all of that, what I want you to do is to adjust you, not the script. That alone will change your results. And if you want to actually master these strategies, not like dibble and dabble in it, I put together a full NLP training for real estate agents with no fluff, no hype, just real application. And the link for that is in the description below. And look, whether you join or not, I want you to remember this. If you can't lead a conversation, you don't control your income. And now you know why. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.